Back at you again and gloves off, and today we have a special guest, a leader in the martial arts, a living legend, and we're going to be talking about a system from the Philippines called Siete Pares Eskrima. And I'm talking today, and I'm bringing forth Grandmaster Nelson Estanol. Grandmaster, how are we doing today?
Pretty good, Paul.
How's everything on your end?
We're here. We're pretty good. Everything is fine. And so let me talk about Siete Pares.
Okay.
Eskrima. If you don't get my accent or you don't really understand what I'm talking about, please let me know.
No, you're fine. I have an accent as well, so we can. Let's talk a little bit about the history of Siete Pares, how it came to be, what part of the Philippines, because a lot of people out there understand that there's Eskrima and understand that there's Kali and Arnis, but a lot of people do not know that there's a lot of different variants and styles, and explain all that, because some styles are to the region, or some styles are or what, explain all that. I think that'll be great for everybody to hear.
Okay. Siete Pares started from the island of Iloilo.
Okay.
And was originally practiced by the seven brothers of seven different styles.
Okay. So you had seven brothers of seven different styles.
And during one of the towns, we call it annual Eskrima competition, there was a new guy by the name of Carlos Herenilla.
Okay.
Herenilla, and he is at the Campo style. Campo meaning long range.
Okay.
Because the seven brothers are of the salon style, which is a close range.
Okay.
Yeah, so during that fiesta, this is before even the Japanese war. This is like in the 1930s something.
Okay.
Yeah. So during the town fiesta, there was a fiesta which is they have a competition.
Right. They had like a competition between the different people.
Yeah, different people, and a guy named Carlos Herenilla of the Campo style started beating each one of the brothers, all of the seven brothers.
Okay.
So he proved himself to be more superior than any of those brothers, and he was confirmed as the winner of the Eskrima in the town of Iloilo, which is Haniway. Haniway is a town.
Right.
It's down a city. Haniway. It's spelled JANAWAY. Haniway. It's JANIWAY. That's Haniway, Iloilo.
Okay.
That's where all I'm not saying the best, but it's where all the good discriminators came from in the island of the Philippines.
Okay.
That part. And then years later, the eldest of the best of the seven brothers died.
Okay.
So one of the brothers approached Carlos Herenilla, by one of the very six brothers, to restore the title of Siete Pares to become seven.
Right.
Being a superior escrimador, Herenilla incorporated the Campo style into the methods of the original Siete Pares.
Okay.
So now we have completed the system, which is the long range, the medium range,
and the short range.
Short range.
Okay.
Along with those brothers. But those were disrupted when the Japanese invaded the Philippines in 1941.
Okay.
Most of the Filipinos who rejected the Japanese occupation
correct
evacuated to remote places, and so they're all kind of dispersed. Because of that, they went to the mountains, they went to the jungles of the Philippines, and Master Hernelia, who was then is about like 60 years old, chose to settle in a small barrio of Iloilo called Haniway. Remember? Haniway. Let me spell it to you again. It's Janiway. Yeah, Haniway.
Mm-hmm.
And since it has been his livelihood to teach Eskrima, no sooner already he opened the class. And there's like 30 good students appeared at his door where he starts teaching.
Right.
But the story, as the story goes, because I wasn't born yet. I was born in 1945, though.
Okay.
Most of the students, they drop out one at a time, because the old ways of teaching Eskrima is that what we're teaching right now, it's very rigid, and young kids getting hurt, they're getting whipped, and they start falling apart and they quit.
Right.
Yeah, and one of the students, among the students, was a 13-year-old Susimo Labor. His name is Labor. So he was able to pass the war away learning students of the Shit Paris.
Right.
So, and then Labor, when Carlos Ornilla died, this guy named Grandmaster Labor, who is also a Disalon style, okay, who also inherit the Disalon from his father named Zacharias Labor, inherit the system. So again, in 1946, which is, of course, the war ended, and Eskrima started again, and every now and then they have a tournament in Iloilo, and to the homage of their they call it patron saints, and at this time Susing Labor came out as the winner.
Okay.
For the Eskrima system. There's a lot of Eskrima system in Iloilo.
Correct.
To name a few, most of our Escrimador came from that place. To the Lamico Eskrima.
Okay.
Came from that place, which is, I came from the other island though, which is the same language. So most of them, like the Lightning Eskrima, came from that place. Lamico, and then the modern Arnes pressers came from there, Negros Occidental. Pique de Tercia came from Negros Occidental.
Okay.
The same language, the same style, almost. Because Iloilo and Negros are two different islands, but we're so close to each other. We can ride a bangka. What do you call it? A bangka, a boat?
Yeah.
Little boat. Yeah. So if we have like a town fiesta in there, we invite. And then in the latter years where there's a lot of land grabbing in the Philippines,
Okay.
it's like in the United States, gunfighters and everything.
Correct.
You grab my land, and if you try to take away my ranch or cattle, then we went for a draw.
Right.
In the Philippines, it's different. They ask for a duel for Eskrima. You got a choice of kamagong sticks,
Mm-hmm.
which is the hardest, the kamagong, or the rear blade, ginunting. Ginunting is a very mean type of a blade. It's got a sharp edge at the back of the end of the blade.
Okay.
and that's what I use. I think you know what I'm talking about, the ginunting.
The ganun yeah.
So that's what happened. Anyway, because of the hardship of life in the province, Grandmaster Labor went to the city of Olongapo, which is now in close to Manila, about 2 hours drive from Manila. Olongapo is a Navy base because of the job, so he went there. And among Labor students was the Grandmaster Labitan Bert, who studied under him. And when he went to the United States, we practiced together because I was also in the harness in the 60s.
Okay.
Which is what you call the Ilongo harness, which is the same. Yeah, which is the same style as Siete Pares. Because Ilongo harness, they are almost the same. So if I spoke about Ilongo harness, it goes with the Lamico, the Lightning, the modern harness with presses, the Piquete Tercia, Siete Pares. Those are Ilongo harness. It came from the same island. So Grandmaster Bert Labitan and I trained together, but he died, and he gave me the legacy of a Grandmaster of Siete Pares Eskrima.
And I don't want to interrupt, but you've done a great job because I've seen some of your students, some of your apprentices, some here in Texas, and they become like family, like Maestro Eric Buenaflor in San Antonio. His students are like family to us. You know, we started the stick fighting coalition here, trying to get everybody together to come down in a type of understanding, in a fellowship, instead of all this bickering that's out there. And Guru Wes Richardson, who's an excellent guy and doing his best over there in San Angelo. To me, they're family, and it's great to see a type of fellowship that is passed on, because it shows a lot of who they learned from and where the systems come from. Because to me, that is awesome, and to me, that's something that has to be preserved. And now that I'm talking to the person that has taught them, I realize why they're that way. You know, good, honest people. And we both know that in this martial arts, there's a lot of hokiness going on, and there's a lot of people that it's a me world, you know, and you can't be that way. You have to teach openly. You have to teach those that come in there and respect everything. You teach them everything openly. Those that do not respect, well, then you just kind of tell them to go on their way business, right? And we've learned that, I guess, through time and teaching, and that which ones are the ones that are going toward you to kind of just use the system and not give respect to the system or the style they've taught, and those that appreciate it and want to continue preserving it. And to me, I think that's a big factor in teaching. You understand? And
yes.
Now tell me this about the blade, the gunting. How do you? And that's the specialty of the system, correct? Because I know some systems in the Philippines use barong, and some use the Chris, and some use kapilan, right? And
yes.
So this was more of a fighting, not more of a, how can I put it? Not more of a like barong cutting through the jungles, right?
No, it is. It's a thin blade, razor sharp, and its only purpose in life is for combat.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It was built for fighting.
Yes, it is built for fighting. Yeah, that's the good thing. And of course, like you said before, teach everything to your students. I do that, but in football, my philosophy again is I don't take too many students. I read the heart of people.
Right.
When the heart of my students. If you are into it, yes. But if you're not into it, you're just gonna be a wishy-washy type.
Yeah.
And going through me. So when I trained Eric and Wes was running around with me all the time because he was so scared. So, so I told him, Wes, do it, because he came from Modern Harness from Presas.
Right.
And Presas was a good friend of mine. But Wes really, he come out good. He doesn't want to get hit. He doesn't want to get hit, that's all. But, of course, nobody wants to get hit. But
Exactly.
There's no such thing as not getting hit. You're going to get hit one way or the other.
Yeah.
And when I teach them knife, I told them, if you're not good in knife fighting, don't get into knife fighting, because no matter what, you're going to get cut.
Exactly. No, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah, both of you are going to get cut. So I taught them a lot of knife drills so that you wouldn't get cut. And I know I did a good job on those guys. Eric, Wes, and there's few. We're all over the place. We're around the United States and around the world. Some of them, most of my students are now not in San Diego. Some of them used to be, like Eric, he used to be a sheriff here. Now he's a cop in San Antonio.
Correct.
I got a lot of police officers in here that I teach. A lot of Navy guys and Marines, Border Patrol, and Customs, CBP.
Sure.
Custom Border Protection. So I got a lot of these guys in here, because the people that I was incorporated with most of them are Customs.
Correct.
Yeah. So they know me back here as their teacher. Sometimes I don't want to be called Grandmaster. I told them, just call me teacher.
And it excuse me for interrupting. And you see those how can I say units of teaching. You had a lot of the Gajo Kempo instructors. Everybody was Air Force, because Gajo Kempo was spread through the Air Force. Some of the systems were spread through the Border Patrol, and like you're saying, or a lot of people go into the screamers, law enforcement, because of the use of the knife and the weapon retention, and they stick with it and they continue, and that's how it gets spread throughout the United States. And it's interesting to watch how it just starts devolving, and then you start seeing where it came from, and now it answers a lot of questions, like exactly what you're saying. Tell me one thing. How did Siete Pares get embraced here in the States, and how, like you kind of answered it. It's been more law enforcement, more Navy, or with you, but how was it embraced here? What part of California are you in? You're in San Diego?
We started in San Diego, and then this is where we really did our training, and then the people that are training with us and get promoted went out of other states, and then they become our representative. So now it's flourished all over the United States.
Okay.
That because of them, like Eric, he got transferred to San Antonio, so he set up his own Siete Pares in San Antonio.
Right.
We have one in Oklahoma. We have a lot of people around the world, around the United States, and some are in Saudi Arabia or Middle East, and we have quite a few in the Philippines that are practicing the art. But the main camp is here, and I'm the one who's developing everything for them and teaching the art, because I did the art for so many years, and they really appreciate that. But the way our art is, our philosophy is a triangle. So the triangle is the top of the triangle. We call it the Godhead, the Father side of the triangle, the Son, and that's the right side is the Holy Spirit.
Of course.
That's in the triangle.
The Holy
And then
Trinity.
in our philosophy,
Yeah,
that's Trinity.
exactly.
And there's like 3 triangles that we do. And on the other triangle that we do is the what you call third eye.
Right.
Third eye is on the top. First eye is on the left side. Second eye is on the right side. That is they call it tres picos.
Los tres picos.
Tres picos, the third eye. And then we have another philosophy, which is on the triangle, which is life, success, and health.
Exactly.
That is our philosophy. Yeah. So that is the 3 sides of the triangle that we practice, and I'm the one who's teaching that too. We also have like a lot of drills, which I need to teach everybody. When every time they visit me in San Diego, I hold like a 2-hour seminar with them. Just teach them, teach the masters, and my black belts, teach them the essence of the martial arts, and then teach them the spiritual aspect of the martial arts. Because it's not just skill, speed, and strength. There is a spiritual aspect.
Of course.
That I teach. So I teach them the oracion. They call it the prayer. And a lot of people called me, hey, that's a talisman. I said, no, that's an oracion. It's a prayer.
Exactly. And the old, like, I'm going to compare it to Savad, pre-World War II. Okay? Pre-World War II, because it changed after World War II, changed dramatically. Pre-World War II, you had a lot of spirituality, a lot of philosophy that was involved in Savad. Some professors kept it. There were only 34 that were left alive after World War II. A lot of them were killed from the Japanese. And so Savad became a sport, and it became more and more sport. So they started taking away that philosophy. And in 2006, it's in France, it's basically a sport. I mean, it's still very deadly. It's still very powerful in the ring, but that philosophy is not there anymore. You don't see it. I was fortunate enough to have felt it, and some of those instilled that into me. Passed it on. And every day you try to make yourself better. And when I used to talk to the older professors, and at that time frame in the 90s, there were 84, 85, 90, 95. There were a couple of them that had been in World War II, that had been around pre and post World War One, and they would talk about the usage back then as to it is now. And they used to say, a saboteur now is not the same as a saboteur then. Now they jump around and they get mad very easily. Back then they were very cool-headed, and they were used for a lot of things. And I used to laugh because everybody would always say that they were used for a lot of things, and probably from all different types, And like you said, that philosophy needs to be protected, needs to be passed on, because that's how you get your martial artists or your practitioners, your students that appreciate life. Because if you don't teach that, then you're just going to have a bunch of hoodlums running around. And that's not what this is about. Because hoodlums can know how to fight as well. It takes a calm person to understand the difference. And
you're right, Paul.
And thank you for showing that and instilling that into that, to everybody else. And like I said, I tell the guys from San Antonio and West, I go, anytime we're together, this is family. You guys should come in here. I understand we don't do siete pares, but the philosophy of fellowship is there. So don't ever even think about it. If I'm on the mat teaching, just step in. You don't have to pay no charges or anything. Just come. You're familia. And that's the way it is. And because you sense that from where it's being taught from. And, they're a bunch of good guys.
Yeah. Well, it teaches guy how to respect other people and other martial arts. And
above all that, teaching respect is fine, but they need to understand how to respect what they're doing. And I'm not saying that they don't, because they do. But when And there's a lot of systems that they don't teach them to respect what they're learning. So how are they going to respect others?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I see a lot of shopping center martial art schools that you go in there and they don't respect the history, they don't respect the techniques, they don't respect their teachers, even though they show it in a false sense of respect. You know, they go in there and they all line up and they all bow and they all do what they have to, and then all of a sudden, you know, they don't know anything that's going on. You know, you tell them, what's this? You know, it's, you know, I talked about it with one of the other instructors that I talked to a couple of weeks ago. I go, you know, you see it says Taekwondo school, and they have a Japanese flag with a praying mantis in the front, and they don't know what is what. You know, they don't know their history. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
A Chinese dragon with a Japanese school, you know, and no, it doesn't happen. There's Japanese dragons too, you know.
Commercialized.
Yeah,
Paul.
yeah, it happens. A lot of YouTube warriors, you know, a lot of YouTube instructors.
No, I don't. No, you got legacy. You have to have a legacy.
Exactly.
You don't promote yourself to a grandmaster until somebody higher than you promoted you.
Exactly right.
Or whatever. Yeah. So you gotta have a legacy in the martial arts. You know where your roots are. Know where your roots are.
Exactly right.
Your root is Sabat. My root is Eskrima.
Yes.
And on the karate side, my roots is Saikachi, which is an Okinawan grandmaster in Okinawa, which I studied when I was in the Navy.
Right.
So I was stationed there. So those are my roots, and I know the lineage of my martial arts family. You have to know that.
You have to.
And that is respect.
That's exactly right. You respect those that came before you. That you have to.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
let me ask you this question, because I've asked this question to everybody. What do you see the martial arts going in the near future? Do you see a lot of those that do respect, those that want to teach that, stand up and start promoting that more, or are you going to see it just falter away and just disappear?
Martial arts, it depends on an individual, though. It will disappear if the people that are trying to learn it just want to learn it, just want to learn it, not putting his heart into it.
Correct.
His whole soul. Yeah, but if you just want to learn it for a couple of months and you go out there and brag and start bullying people, then that martial art is going to die because you're going to get beat up.
Eventually.
Remember, there's always a fastest gunfighter.
Of course.
And there's always one. And it's going to come out when you least expect it.
Exactly right. And
There's always.
You're absolutely
so,
correct.
Yeah, so like I said, when you least expected it, there's always one that's going to put you down. So, but if you put your heart into it and avoid being a martial arts out there, but it will show when it comes to emergency. That's why, Paul, I'm a low profile type guy.
Mm-hmm.
I keep a very low profile. Nobody knows. When I walk around in San Diego, nobody knows who am I. All they know is I'm a dancer.
Mm-hmm.
Because I dance good. I'm a ballroom dancer. I'm really good in ballroom. That's all they know. But as far as martial arts, only the martial artist that studied under me knows that I am their grandmaster.
Right.
So, because when Wes asked me, Eric asked me, what is the requirement for a grandmaster? I told him straight. Told him, look, the requirement is not about your skill. It's not about your strength. It's not about your speed. There's one higher than that. It is more spiritual. your attitude, your humbleness. This counts to become a grandmaster. But in the harness in the Eskrima, there's one requirement for a grandmaster. You have to learn to know the art of hilot.
Yeah.
They call it massage. You know what hilot is, right?
To heal. Yes.
It's ILOT. Hilot means
Hilot.
you know how to broken bones.
Yes.
To fix pinched nerve. To do massage when somebody get hurt. That is a requirement in Eskrima to become a grandmaster. And then along with that, you should have to know all the prayers needed in the Eskrima. So it's got nothing to do with your skill now. It's more higher than that.
For the inner, the inner person. Yeah.
Yeah, your inner person. It's not now. It's about your mind. It's mind that is working, because you got to learn how to read your opponent. You have to learn their moves. You got to know what time of the day and what day of the month is the body parts that is weak where you're going to hit it. They call it the art of delayed death touch. A lot of those, I got a list of those. What time your kidney is weak and what day, what month. There's a list of those. You don't have to learn everything because that's a long list. That way you can touch a guy and nobody will know about it, but he's going to die in next week or next 2 weeks something because of disrupted kidney. So that's one of the essence of the art that is being taught in harness.
Right.
Yeah. So I told those guys to become a grandmaster doesn't mean you're high, you're way above. No, you're just beginning. That is the start, the yin and the yang of harness.
Right.
So you went from white belt to grandmaster, and then you're going to start as a white belt again. That is just the beginning of your. You learn the essence of the art, everything. You know, the sticks fight, the hand-to-hand combat fight, the knife fight, and everything. You learn those. You haven't learned anything yet until you learn the spiritual aspect of the art.
Right.
So now you're a grandmaster, but you're still a white belt in the art because of that. You know what I mean, right, Paul?
No, I understand exactly what you're going.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the thing that I'm trying to groom all my masters. I'm trying to groom them with that. I'm teaching them how to do hilot, fix broken bones or any pinched nerve or, you get hit and everything. I'm teaching that. Starting with one of my master, Jerry.
Okay.
I'm starting it with him, teaching him with how to apply the oil and start doing the massage to fix things. Because Paul, I believe in the hand that can kill can also heal.
Of course.
Yeah, the hand that can kill can also heal. So you are a healer.
Yep. My uncle used to say a saying. He goes, "Vives para servir, si no vives." No, ¿cómo? Vives para servir, si no sirves para vivir. Either you live to serve, if not, you don't deserve to live. And that's something
that's true.
And he would always say that, he would always say that. And you're actually correct. Here's another one, because we're running out of time in a little bit. What do you tell the new guys that are going out there and searching and training? What do you tell the new guy that comes in?
Oh, I told the guy, what I do is I spoke to them. I don't train them right away. I give them like a lecture on how to be humble. That's one thing. How to be humble. Not to criticize anybody. And do not use it to bully anybody.
Right.
Because if you'll be out. You'll be out of my martial arts club right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I find out you're using it to bully or push anybody around, you'll be out right away.
That's what I tell them here. I tell them, we get them all the time. We get guys that come in there and they want to fight. And I go, what do you want to fight for? Do you want to in the ring or not? And I tell them straightforward, I don't train fighters anymore. I don't go around taking them to boxing matches or stuff like that. It's too much time. Learn.
Mm-hmm.
Right now you don't know anything. Learn your techniques. Learn your blocks. Learn everything else. Then later on, if you say 6 months from now, you know what, I want to try this, I want to do that, then we can start preparing. Because preparing for a competition and learning how to fight are totally two different things, One, you can't take a guy that's going to compete that doesn't know how to block or doesn't know how to punch, or kick or whatnot. That's a different thing. But yeah, you're correct. Well, Grandmaster, I want to tell you thank you for expressing your viewpoints on the martial arts, and thank you for telling us the history, which is a beautiful history of your system. And when you come to Texas, we will get together, and I don't know when you're coming, but hopefully either Wes or Eric will let me know, and we'll get together. If they want to bring you down to Laredo, we're only a couple of hours away. Please do so. Maybe we can do something like that for you to spread your art to the guys here at the club. Okay.
I will, and thank you very much. I won't be around starting November 5th.
Okay.
I'll be in the Philippines for a month. I'm gonna study more with the old people in there, with the old men.
Okay.
I'm gonna meet them in Eskrima and study more.
Sure.
More higher spiritual learning about the system.
Of course.
These are the people that they're not known in the Eskrima world, but they are really good.
I understand.
They live in the mountains. They are in the mountains. They live in the mountains. I'll meet them when I get there. So I'll be leaving next Tuesday.
Okay. And you have a safe travel, and you take care. And when do you come back?
December 5.
Okay. I'll be leaving to Brazil on the 15th. I'll be back on the 27th, and my wife will stay there for about a month and a half, 2 months, and visit her mom. She's in age. And then we got a couple of things. But we'll get together next year. And we will be talking.
I'll be in Texas one of these days. As soon as Eric, the last time I was there, it cost me an arm and a leg. I'm glad Eric gave me a ride instead of getting in a car.
Okay.
But so we'll get together.
Okay.
And ask me if I can give like an hour or 2 hour seminar with these guys.
Sure, we'll get together. I'll talk to Wes and I'll talk to Eric, and if something, maybe you can come down to over here. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Alrighty. God bless you.
Right.
Again.
Hey guys, take care, Paul.
Take care.
Thanks.
We'll see you soon.
Take care.
Again, everybody. Until next time. Be safe.